So here is Snowmine, and Snowmine is a 4-year-old 16 two-hand thoroughbred gelding by Mineshaft. And this exceptional horse had a handful of starts over fences and on the flat. And he actually just last raced on November 9th. So he's just about 3 weeks post his last race. And so this horse is really cool because obviously he's a steeplechase horse. And he has a lovely way of going. He clearly he knows how to jump and all the things. I played around with him a little bit yesterday. It was freezing rain and it was terrible conditions, so no video. But actually, he was a super trooper about just ignoring that and getting right to work. And we had a great ride. But I played with him over some poles and little tiny things because the thing about steeplechases horses is even though they already know how to jump, we need to teach them to jump as they finish their racing over fences career. We need to teach them to jump in a little bit of a different way. So this horse knows how to gallop and jump big jumps, and that's awesome. And he's also extremely brave, which is also amazing. But I found, very unsurprisingly yesterday when I was playing around with him over things, that he definitely, when you put him on his line to his jump and he sees where he's going, he wanted to kind of drag me to the jump. And a couple of times I wanted to trot, and then he just sort of dragged me in the canter. So it's a wonderful problem to have that a horse is taking you to the fence. That's awesome that he wants to jump the jump. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The horse is jumping the jump. However, we now need to reteach him to jump in a soft, connected, waiting, pushing from behind style. So we need to now get him to sort of change his balance and his mindset about how he jumps the jumps. And he actually, usually this is easier said than done, but actually this horse is so exceptional in his way of going and in his brain that for him, actually, it's not very hard at all. So today I played around with him a little bit more, and all the things that we had done the day before clearly stuck, and he was just phenomenal. So yesterday, what I did was when I realized, okay, he wants to drag me to the jump. So then we started coming to a jump in a canter. And then when we got on our line and we were a few strides out, breaking back to the trot. So me saying, actually, you want to rush the jump. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to come back to the trot in front of the jump. And trotting fences is also a really good thing for these jump racing horses to figure out because they're used to galloping fences. We now want him to slow down, really think about his footwork. And so I want him to be able to go back and forth between trotting and cantering fences. And so there, if you sort of were paying attention, what he did before that jump on the center line was I wanted to trot it. 2 strides out, he sort of said, nope, I know what I want to do. And he sort of dragged me to it in the canter, which is why we landed in an unbalanced counter canter. Excuse me, not counter canter, cross canter, was because he kind of made a bit at that jump and we were not on the same page. I was asking him to wait in the trot and he went in the canter. So what I'm working on with him here is I want to be able to go seamlessly back and forth between quietly trotting a jump and quietly cantering a jump. So we're swapping around back and forth, back to the same fence. And so there he waited for me and he jumped it absolutely beautifully and landed on a really balanced right lead canter. So one thing that I'm working on just personally is, well, I'm always thinking every time I'm jumping now about just trying to be super center behind, a little bit behind the motion. And I'm also thinking about the fact that, he wants to go to the jump. So I'm trying not to egg him off the ground. I'm trying to really stay relaxed in my leg and not sort of give him any sort of reason to make a bid at the jump. So I'm trying to just basically, I'm just trying to not move. I'm trying to stay super still in my upper body and also really quiet in my legs because he does not need any extra encouragement to go jump the jump. He already wants to do that, which again is awesome. One thing that I sometimes do, which is incorrect, is that when I'm just having my own little nervousness about something, I'll just gun them to the jump a little bit, which is something I'm trying really hard to not do. And so with him especially, I needed to make sure that I don't do that extra little nudge with my leg before the jump because he most certainly does not need that. And that's just telling him to, yes, go run at the jump. And I want him to do the opposite. So I'm basically just trying so hard to not move. And that was so excellent. What a good boy. I mean, and obviously he's putting all the things together. A couple of times we got some kind of awkward distances. Oh, that was so good. And we got a long one to that raised flower box, I think 2 times ago, but it was a good distance because we were both on the same page. It was a gappier distance, but he was soft and he was waiting and he was listening. So here, he sort of gets a little downhill in the balance, and that's why we had the rail, was because as we came around that corner, he sort of, you can't really see in the video, but how it felt was he just sort of grabbed onto the bit a little bit, got downhill, and then that's why he punched the rail out. So then that was good there. So of course now we're going to pause, we're going to put it back up, and we'll come again. So I'm working really hard on trying to keep him off the bridle. I don't want him to sort of take hold and bring me to the jump. I want him to stay up and light and off the bridle, and that was excellent. What a good boy. Okay, so now we're coming back to this one with the 9-foot rail where he got a little downhill and knocked the last time. So, my God, he jumped that so brilliantly. What a good boy. So much better. He just stayed up in the balance and light and just really pushed from behind to that. That was excellent. That was also very good. A positive but waiting distance. So here we've set up an oxer that we're going to go to. I thought we would do the pick up the right lead and come in the canter, but then when he actually didn't get the right lead when I asked, I thought, why not just trot it the first time? It'll be good for him. And oh my God, can this horse jump? That was just absolutely perfect in the trot. He just stayed straight and soft and light and trotted right up to the base and just jumped it gorgeously. Oh, that was so good. What a good boy. This was really fun. I mean, needless to say, such a fun jump school. So here he's just waiting perfectly. He's listening. He's staying soft and up in the balance, and it just feels quite brilliant. And so here we actually get a close one, which is hard sometimes for steeplechase horses. And he just figured it out so brilliantly. He just sort of compressed, put in the shorter stride, still jumped it brilliantly. So he was done with that. I could not have asked for a better horse than what he was today. I thought he jumped a 10. The horse is just so talented and brilliant with a great brain.